You've been busy. Did you realize you've provided the Thieves Guild with a lucrative opportunity? Probably not. It's all right. I won't even imply you're thick. That's how lucrative. Silverclaw's ledger? The blackmail you stole from Noshira Citadel? This is our blueprint to pulling heists just like we used to. We can hit our rivals where it hurts, take their ill-gotten gains for ourselves, use it to rebuild. Among the blackmail, I noticed the name Farandar. He's a claw cutter, a thief who robs other thieves. Wouldn't you know, he signed on as our master of heists. Now, and don't strain yourself, who should you speak with next?
Ah, Velsa tells me you are the one who freed Farandar from Koshe's leash. The cub is more seasoned than she admits, but Farandar's eyes are sharper than his claws. Tongue, too, where Velsa is concerned. I have missed her conversation. Both are the guilds to serve, and so now they serve you too. Ah, a good tip is only one of the services I provide, boss. Think of Farandar as your observer, guide, and porter. You handle the theft, I will handle the rest. Farandar's little birds post things of interest at the guild. If something catches your eye too, speak up and we plan the heist. Go through me or not at all. We don't want members stepping on each other's toes or skimping on their dues. Perhaps I am a very sneaky butler who ensures that all things reach their proper destination. Loot from an industrious thief's sticky fingers into a wanting buyer's tender embrace, and gold from a happy buyer's pocket to a deserving thief's palm. Then we should see what my magpies have brought back to the nest. I'll await you at the tip board in the guild hall. Soon we should teach you to spot a tail and shake one. It is not Khajiit dancing I am referring to, though I am told I am a great partner. You will need to be quite aware of your surroundings on a heist. There is often little room for error. Of course, boss. I'm eager to see you in action. Bring me a posting, and we'll be on our way. Fresh tip caught your interest? I know the place. Say the word, and we can all be a little richer today. It's a beautiful place, but don't let the gleam distract you from the dangers within. The lush overgrowth makes it ideal for traps of all kinds. Mind your toes if you wish to keep them. Stinks of an inside job to me. But if our buyer wants to skim a little off the top, who are we to judge? We will charge extra for the added care, of course. Farandar can move things from place to place when the boss needs. Goods, coin, people too sometimes. Find me if you have such a need, boss. Well done, boss. You're living up to your reputation. I'll get this sold in the flick of a tail and have your take at the den once the guild clears it. Don't forget to collect it, or it might grow legs. Got your latest cut of the profits right here, boss. Their eyes shone brighter than the stones themselves. It was a simple thing to get them to part with a little extra for the flawless services you provided. Your cut, boss. Enjoy.
Took your time, didn't you? But you're here. I need your help. I was in the market when someone slipped me a letter. It might not mean anything, but on the other hand, it might be some sort of trap. A folded sheet of paper unsigned. It was only a few lines wishing me well. But when I unfolded the sheet, an old pressed stargazer peony fell out. That unsettled me. It's a flower. Others just like it blossomed all around my family home. But I left my family behind a long time ago. If this is their way of sending me a message, I need to know why now, after all these years. You've consistently demonstrated a lack of incompetence. Find out if my family sent that letter. I didn't part on the best of terms, so it could be a trap. But they won't expect you, which means it shall be slow to spring. Decades ago, I was Velsa Arendis of House Drez. Yes, the one built on the spoils of the slave trade. When I fled, I released dozens of slaves. Gave them gold from the house treasury. I regret not seeing the look on Mother's face. But nothing else. Yes, but I didn't realize it then. I was taking a merchant to task for her prices when a half-naked Nord bumped into me. That's when it happened. He fled before I could give him a piece of my mind toward the merchant camp outside the city gates.
My uncle went to town, but he should be back shortly if you need something. I'm still learning the business, and I'm not allowed to do anything. My uncle says I don't have a head for numbers. I say as long as my head looks pretty, what else matters? What? No, that wasn't me. Did you see something? There are plenty of half-naked Nords running around the bar's landing. Oh, stop interrogating me. I'll confess. It was me. It was all me. But that's all I can say. Client confidentiality, you know. Not breaking my word is important too. But also mead. Mead is important. You tell my uncle? That's not very friendly of you. Oh, very well. I met a Khajiit woman in Ralka when I was drinking at the inn. She paid me to deliver the letter to the Dark Elf lady here. Never got the Khajiit's name, though. Sorry.
Don't recall seeing you before. So many new people coming through. Makes my head spin. Not at all the question I expected. You have piqued my curiosity. Why do you seek some random Khajiit? Is there some problem? Oh, well, in that case, an elderly Khajiit does work here. She's a cook, bakes the best pies in town. They really are quite tasty. But she's indisposed at present. I won't let you disturb her rest. That's something you'll have to ask her. It's not my place to talk about the hired help. I do believe she traveled a fair bit in her youth, though. I suppose that won't do any harm. Narani is a kind, gentle old woman, and a master baker of scrumptious pies. The people here are very fond of her, and very protective.
Imperials eat each other alive.
Yes? Who's there?
Oh dear, this one must have fallen asleep again. Your face. This one doesn't recognize it. Are you looking for a piece of pie? Belsa? She didn't come with you? Ah, this one was foolish to even send the letter in the first place. Or the peony. I hope the years would have softened her memories. That she might have wanted to see her old friend one more time before the end. This one is no longer the young and brave Khajiit that fell in love with Belsa, and it took a long time to even discover she might be in Abbas Landing. Now I am old and my mind isn't what it once was. Belsa would never even recognize me. Do you really think so? Perhaps that would be best. Enough time has gone by without this one seeing Belsa's sweet face. Even if she's still angry, at least I can tell her that I never betrayed her. Since she didn't come here, I'll have to go to her. Oh, stupid Narani. This one should have thought of that. She feared her terrible family was trying to lure her out of hiding. I should have signed the letter. But you must understand, when we parted, Belsa was hurt very much. Belsa loathed her family's business. This one was a slave then, working in the family's kitchens. We fell in love. We made a plan to free all the slaves, but she thought I betrayed her. She disappeared before I had a chance to explain.
Narani, are you all right? I specifically stated that you were not to be disturbed.
Easy, my friend. This one has decided that the time has come to travel and mend old wounds.
The letter bore fruit. I wish you well, but we're going to miss your pies around here.
Could you open a portal to Abbas Landing, my friend? A long journey always makes this one's old bones ache.
Gladly, but I can't keep it open for long. The innkeeper doesn't like me using magicka in here.
This one will write to you, and I'll even sign the letter this time.
Of course. Now, give me a moment to concentrate.
Come, my new friend, let's take this portal to Abbas Landing. If you dislike portal travel, then make your own way and meet me there. So good to see you, my friend. Sometimes portals can be tricky. Time flows so differently for a Khajiit and a dark elf. I am old now, but Belsa... No matter. This one will be glad to see her friend again. Ready? Oh, this one is nervous, but I am also ready. Lead on and I will follow. A secret passage? Belsa always loved secret passages. Let's go! Ah, dark and dusty, just like the secret passages from my youth. You go ahead. This one needs a moment.
Did you find out who sent that letter? Not that I was overly concerned.
Someone who lacked the courage to sign their name, but now wants to make amends.
Marani, just the sight of you opens old wounds.
Oh, Belsa, I know what you saw, what you must have thought. This one never meant to hurt you.
I saw you in my brother's arms. He was the worst of my family. How could you?
He arrived at exactly the wrong moment. I had to do something, or our entire plan would have failed.
You didn't betray us? You did that for me?
It was the only way to guarantee your escape.
I let the years flow by without giving you a chance to explain. Oh, what a waste. But I'll make it up to you. I'll keep you safe. Is this what happiness feels like? Yes. suppose it... I had no idea this would be the result of sending you to find a half-naked Nord. The last time I saw Narani, it was quite unpleasant. There was poison in that wound. I don't think it ever truly healed. You reunited me with my one true love, so I choose to ignore that. I hope there's time to share a few lasting moments before all is said and done. All these wasted years, we've missed out on so much. Narani wears them like a cloak, though with grace and style. I am grateful you convinced her to come here. Narani, you must be tired after the journey. Relax and we'll talk later. I know we have so much to tell each other.
This way. Zira's looking for you. Didn't seem too happy. Nothing you did. She's just stiffer than normal. And that's saying something. You know of our botched raid on Magnifica Falora's tomb. But the Iron Wheel is here to recover her missing dowry. So, if we didn't take it, who did? Zira wants answers. She's in the den. Go on, now. You know where to find Zira. Always staring at papers in the den she is. Someone pinned the blame on the guild. Used to think the Iron Wheel wanted revenge for us trespassing in Magnifica Falora's family tomb. But Chief Inspector Ranbik is after the missing dowry. You heard it yourself. No? You think I know a lick about dowries? You trying to flatter me? A dowry is like a bar tab. It's the promise of available drinks, not the drinks themselves. But if there was no tab, why would anyone go to that bar, you see? Good, that's one of us. I know Zira doesn't like to talk about it. Lost the best of the guild to that folly. Nicholas thought he could steal Magnifica Falora's dowry from her family tomb. Nicholas was wrong. Everyone died but Zira. For a guildmaster, he should have known better than to bet everything on a single heist. Best you don't repeat that to Zira.
Back to the tomb? Your plan is to relive the Guild's greatest failure?
My plan is to get the Iron Wheel's boot off our necks. Good, you're here. I want to learn whether Magnifica Falora's dowry was truly stolen from her family tomb. If it was, we find out who did. And if it wasn't, we complete the heist that Nicholas began. What's she gonna do? Send a second Iron Wheel? We return to Aldenobia Tomb, bypass the deadliest traps I've ever encountered, and then scour the treasure vaults for anything we can find. I appreciate the confidence, but too many good people died there the first time. We do this right, or we don't do it at all. Perseus Loke can give us an edge. He's one of the few living people to set foot in Magnifica Falora's family tomb. Take Quinn and collect him from his shop. Meet the rest of us on the road to Tanith by Prince's Gate. I guarantee Perseus Loke is no friend of the Iron Wheel. He's expecting you at the Diamond Thimble. And he'll be insufferable if you keep him waiting. Nicholas thought his plan to steal the dowry was almost flawless. But almost won't bring our friends back. He didn't have the right people for the job, but I do. Nicholas knew of the dangers within, but not everything. There was a trap. I didn't understand how it worked. Not until it was too late. But Perseus Loke once served Magnifica Falora. When she wore the clothes he designed, she was the envy of Tanith society. But there was a scandal, and he fled here, beyond Tanith's reach. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know he blames her. She's the heir to the Aldenobia bloodline. Her eldest sister, Zarifa, wed King Faharajad. After Zarifa's death, Valora and the king grew close. But not close. They call her the Jewel of Tanith. Beautiful, cold, and hard as a diamond.
Off to find Perseus Loke. Meet you there, partner.
Everyone else, pack for a long journey. I'll bring us home safe and sound.
More promises you can't keep.
The clerk can tell us what happened.
This one shall lodge a formal complaint. What right has the Iron Wheel to march in here and smash our merchandise? Thugs. Thugs and hooligans! That's exactly what the Iron Wheel said, but much louder and with the shaking of fists. When they bellowed his name, I heard a loud crash upstairs. A distraction, of course. The Iron Wheel rushed upstairs as he slipped down through some loose floorboards. But he landed feet first in a tub of bright dye, covered his boots to the brim. That's also what the Iron Wheel said. Most of them gave chase. The rest tossed the room upon the floor and then gave chase. If you find him before they do, tell him Mamea deserves a raise.
You follow Loke's trail on the street. I'll see if I can spot him from the rooftops. Hurry!
Ah, a friendly face. Good of you to join me on my unexpected jog. And I agree, this isn't my color. They must know of my previous involvement with your guild, though I can't begin to fathom how. Your former guildmaster, Nicholas, was it? He was the soul of discretion. And I am prepared to give Abar's Landing a wide berth. I'd prefer to avoid the Iron Wheel, at least for the time being. Zira mentioned a rendezvous by Prince's Gate, was it? I'd feel safer were someone to escort me there.
Perseus Loke? I'll get you to Prince's Gate, safe and sound.
Would you happen to have a spare set of boots?
I don't think mine will fit you. Come along, we'll work something out.
Everyone's accounted for. Did you have any trouble? Then we leave for the Kingdom of Tanith. The route is tricky and we'll be considered bandits if we're caught. But getting to the tomb isn't what worries me. If anything happens, well, it won't, because I can count on you. Ready? What about it? Devious traps, vicious guardians, and likely, at the end of it all, a vault full of dust. At least we won't have to worry about the Iron Wheel. I'd rather sit in the den with a bottle of wine and drink until Andari says I've had too much. But I'm in charge, so it doesn't matter what I think. It matters that we go.
If I may, there is an alternate path inside the tomb. It is likely full of traps, guardians, and prodigious quantities of dust. A small price to avoid the Iron Wheel. Head to the tomb entrance. Keep watch to the side of the path, the right side. You should notice an old trail leading to a sealed entrance. Simply clear the way, and I shall join you to open the door. Oh my, no. The things inside would most certainly kill me. I do know the trick to the door's hidden latch. The rest, I'm certain you can handle yourself.
The last time I was here, the Iron Wheel wasn't camped in front of the tomb. Perfect. Scout ahead and find us a way inside. Clear the way if you care to. The Iron Wheel can't exactly call for reinforcements. You could also sneak past them. We'll track your progress and follow in your footsteps. That's why we brought Perseus Loke. He said something about a side entrance. Speak with him before you go.
How are we supposed to get through?
Ask Zira. She knows how to do everything in this place, unless it's stealing a dowry.
No idea. Last time, Nicholas had me watch the passage behind us. There must be something in his journal.
Anything useful?
Nicholas loved his puzzles. You're welcome to try. Well done. Come on, let's go. The journal says this chasm is called Shinji's Truth. Last time, we never made it across.
I can't see the bottom. Is there a bottom?
Throw yourself in. We'll see how long before we hear the splat.
Quen, walk softly. Look for hidden doors or switches. Belsa, you're with me. I need your help to walk Maluk's path.
And what of your protege?
Watching my back, should anyone try to stab it. Let's go. Forgive me, my old friends.
What did you say?
Nothing. Belsa, do you see that panel? Put your hand on it until I say otherwise.
For what reason?
When I set foot on Maluk's path, an aura of light will surround me. The darkness cannot harm us as long as you touch the panel.
So, what can harm you?
We could fall to our deaths, or the creatures within could devour us.
Well then, enjoy yourselves.
Belsa knows what to do, but we should speak before we cross. On the other side of Maluk's path is Tall Papa's ewer, a very fancy name for a big vase. According to the journal, we'll need sacred ashes from inside the vase to reach the treasure vaults. So, this is it. We should get going. This is where they died. Edda, Dalder, and Nicholas. Swallowed by the darkness. I'm sorry, I can't talk about this. No use reliving the past, or regretting it. That's fair. Talking about it might calm my nerves. The darkness is unnatural. Breathe it in and it sickens you. To make things worse, the Guardians on the path attack anyone not of Denobia's bloodline. And then there's the path itself. It twists and turns. You don't know where you're going until you're out there. You'll see what I mean. Keep your wits about you. Stay with me inside the light and we'll make it through. I won't let anyone else die in here. Here we go. Don't wander, or the darkness itself will flay you alive. We're still moving. Keep holding the panel. To their bodies. And where is Nicholas? I could hear their screams as I held the switch. I had to do something. I couldn't. This is a dead end. Let's turn back. There must be another way we missed. There's no end to the darkness.
Zira, my arm's getting tired.
Don't you dare release that panel! Don't antagonize it. We made it. That must be the vase. Sorry. Tall Papa's you. Wait. That lamp belonged to Nicholas. I watched it go out. I heard him die. Flora must have come here to investigate. She could have picked it up and brought it here. Nicholas couldn't have survived. Could he? That lamp definitely belonged to Nicholas. I procured it for him. I saw him drop the lamp. It hit the path and went out. And all I remember is darkness and pain. I just grab the ashes so we can leave. I don't want to spend any more time in this place. Bring the ashes. We should return to Quen and walk softly. Velsa, you can let go of the panel.
I know what you did.
What?
I know how they died. How you killed them.
That's low, Velsa. Even for you.
Always had to be the hero. Be the Guildmaster's darling.
You're cracked. I didn't need anyone's approval.
You held the panel. From here you saw the creatures closing in. You thought you could save them. Only you! So you released the panel, grabbed your weapon, rushed out to meet them.
I could have saved them.
Because in your head, you are the hero. But the light faded. The darkness rushed in and ate them alive.
I tried to reach them.
And the darkness tried to eat you alive, so you had to recover from your wounds. That's why you didn't return to Abba's Landing. At least not soon enough.
I crawled from the tomb. The darkness. You can't imagine the pain.
You were the only one who could have warned the Guild. Who could tell them the Iron Wheel was coming.
Velsa, stop.
Zira, you were never the hero. You were always a thief. No, you're just a
Quen, it's a bad idea.
Words escape me.
Someone tell me what I'm seeing.
We heard strange noises in the chasm. Stone grinding against stone. Quen, well...
I found this invisible bridge.
So you followed my advice and blew yourself into the chasm.
The ashes. Spread them on the bridge to see where it leads. And Quen, get back from there. Do the ashes reveal Shinji's truth? We'll be right behind you. The door to the treasure vaults, just through this crypt. We made it.
Do all crypts come with whatever that is?
Every tomb needs a guardian. And old Yokuden saying, wasn't it?
Your introduction is formless and without grace. Recite Denobia's maxim.
That's alarming.
Velsa, Quen, walk softly. Stay back. If it's hostile, we'll handle it.
Recite Denobia's maxim, or you shall be deemed trespassers.
It must be some kind of passphrase. If you have any ideas, now's the time to call them out.
You can't seriously expect us to.
Falora!
Yakuda!
Passphrase!
Gaiden Shinji!
Idiots.
Velsa, you aren't even trying.
Trespasser! Denobia's justice falls upon you!
Didn't go as planned.
You're right. I honestly thought it would kill us all.
Come on, let's see what's in the treasure vaults.
What's wrong with that skeleton? Missing its head. It looks like it was hacked off. Must have been done by whoever stole the dowry. But why desecrate a skeleton?
Let me see that. Nicholas used half maps like this. Thin overlays placed atop existing maps. You line them up with common points of reference.
That page, is it from the journal Nicholas kept? Tuwaka watches over you. The passphrase for the Crypt Guardian? I nearly had it.
Nicholas survived somehow. He came here and took Magnifica Felora's dowry for himself. I don't want to believe it, but that's how it seems. Unless I'm missing something. Am I missing something? This is his handwriting, but it could have been taken from his journal by someone else. The skeleton must be Denobia herself. This is her tomb, after all. I don't see what it has to do with Nicholas, missing skull or not. 3 points on this sheet. Nicholas always used Abaz Landing and Noshira Citadel as a reference. If I line up those 2 points... Well now, the third point is in Hughes Bane, out in the middle of nowhere. Trash he left behind? 3 dots on a page are meaningless unless you know the trick. The only people who did were dead on Maluk's path. Head to Hughes Bane. If Nicholas does have a hideout in the desert, it's time we crack it open. Papers. Signed by Kosh? What are those doing here? Ancient Yakuden coins, stamped with the likeness of Denobia. Those must be from the dowry. Nicholas had a disguise kit just like this one. In fact, this is his disguise kit. Look closely. There's a hollow crystal with... Is that blood inside? Whose blood? I know how Nicholas survived Maluk's path. The crystal must contain Aldenobia blood. Maluk's path would ignore you if you held it. You'd need a lamp to find your way through the darkness so you could grab a handful of ashes. From there, all you'd need is the Crypt Guardian's passphrase. I've seen enough. Nicholas faked his death and stole the dowry. Now he's working with that merchant lord, Kosh. To think I mourned that bastard. Nicholas would have kept such a thing from the guild. The less they know, the less trouble they'll cause. But I'm going to tell the Thieves Guild. I want them to cause a world of trouble, and I want to lay it all on his doorstep. Let's go. I told the guild about Nicholas betraying us. Walk softly took it in stride. Quen gave me a hug, and Elsa walked off without a word. All in all, better than expected. The Iron Wheel is a hurricane that blew into port and smashed everything in its path. Nicholas and Kosh are the ones who set it in motion. Now, we learn what they hold most dear. Then, we take it from them. Nicholas taught me how to be a thief. I knew him for over a decade. Trusted him. Not much else to say, is there? What about? Velsa was right, and I don't say that lightly. I am responsible. Edda and Dalder died because of my mistake. Nicholas. I can only pray his death is far worse than what happened to the others. No. He seemed a bit distant before we first went to Aldenobia Tomb, but it was also the biggest heist we'd ever pulled off. Nothing prepared me for this.